20 years ago, a California quarterback walked into Radio City Music Hall along with 5 other athletes with the hope of being selected in the first round of the NFL draft. That man was Aaron Rodgers. He was hopeful he'd be drafted early on, despite Alex Smith becoming the number 1 overall pick. But what followed next was an unnerving 3+ hours sitting in the green room to hear his name called. And then after sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, at pick number 24, the Green Bay Packers made the decision.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback from California. There you go.
Aaron Rodgers was going to be the heir apparent to Brett Favre, and while it would take a while for him to get that opportunity, many were hopeful that running behind Favre would be worth it in the end. And they happened to be right. Rodgers took over in 2008, and the rest is history. Within 3 years, he got the Packers back to the promised land, earning a Super Bowl championship, followed then by an illustrious career that included 4 of the next 15 years with him earning the Most Valuable Player award. With continuously amazing plays and miracle touchdowns nearly every year, Aaron Rodgers established himself as one of the great quarterbacks in the National Football League, maybe even more so than Brett Favre himself was. In 2020, despite the Packers making a near return to the trip to the Super Bowl under new head coach Matt LaFleur, they decided to take a chance on a quarterback from Utah State in the first round in Jordan Love, to do to him what Rodgers would do for Favre, study under him and eventually take up the mantle as the starting quarterback. Rodgers would follow this up by putting up back-to-back MVP numbers, but never getting the team back to the promised land of the Super Bowl. After a less than spectacular final season in Green Bay in 2022 and 2 lesser seasons as a New York Jet, I don't think anybody, not even Rodgers, could imagine that he'd be playing for the exact same team that he beat to win his lone Lombardi Trophy. Rodgers is off to a strong start with the Steelers with 14 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in his first 6 games, with the revamped offense putting up numbers that harken back to the days of Big Ben. Tonight, he has the opportunity of a lifetime to become only the 5th quarterback in NFL history to beat all 32 teams in the league in the matchup we've all been waiting for. The Master takes on his young pupil as Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers take on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers on the Reviewing Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch. The following is a presentation of the Reviewing Network Sports. Stadium in downtown Pittsburgh. As you can see, the festivities have begun outside the stadium, and people are coming in ready to watch this matchup we've all been waiting for. And it also happens to fall on the Sunday before Halloween, so of course you're going to have people in costumes throughout the course of the evening, but it's not scary tonight. The field at Acrisure Stadium, the new sod is in, and so at yesterday's pit game was any indication, it should be perfectly fine tonight for the Steelers and the Packers. Somebody, by the way, might want to take care of that pit logo there. I mean, it's not like I took that video from last night's preparation. Don't be silly. Welcome to the Reviewing Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch, everybody. And this is probably the biggest matchup we've been waiting for since the schedule came out. Aaron Rodgers gets to face his former team in the Green Bay Packers on his new team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Aaron Rodgers has a chance to make some history tonight to become only the 5th quarterback in NFL history to win against all 32 teams. Only one team left to beat. That is, of course, the Green Bay Packers. As you can tell, it's been a busy event. I'll say this: it hasn't been the most eventful day in terms of football today. There was only one game today that actually was legitimately close, and that was the New York Jets, who shockingly, and I mean shockingly, beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals had that game won. They were up like 38-24 in like the final 10 minutes, and then the Jets just came roaring back. I mean, hey, give the Jets credit, man. I've talked some smack about them here on this channel, no question about it. I think everybody has, but hey, to go into Cincinnati and do that, I mean, hey, more power to you, man. More power to you. And, Baltimore won today. That wasn't really much of a shocker against the Chicago Bears, even though Lamar Jackson wasn't there. Chances are he's going to be ready for Sunday night. And Cleveland, Yeah, Myles Garrett's a beast, but unfortunately he plays for the Cleveland Browns, which he could have had the choice to go somewhere else. But you got the contract extension. Now you need to shut the hell up and accept what you reap what you sow, pretty much. But that leaves the Pittsburgh Steelers. Where do they stand tonight? Well, they still have a lead in the AFC North, even though they lost a little bit of that cushion last week in the Thursday loss to Cincinnati. But they have a chance to get it back tonight against the Green Bay Packers team. Aaron Rodgers, of course, tonight has been very dominant so far joining the Steelers. 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and like I said, they have produced more offense this season. The Pittsburgh Steelers have since the days of Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger left this team 4 or 5 years ago. We haven't seen an offense this powerful since then. But there is a yin to the yang, of course. As great as the offense is, the usually reliable defense has fallen apart. I mean, they've been better in between weeks 3 and 6, but then weeks 1 and 2, then last week against Cincinnati, they really fell apart at the worst possible time. And for a game like this, a game with such pivotal importance for Aaron Rodgers, of course, because he'll push it off to the side and say that he doesn't want this game to be a revenge game. But come on. It's a revenge game. He wants this win so badly against Green Bay. And Green Bay has gotten better since the last time we saw him on this show. Last time we saw him, they were in a tie with the Dallas Cowboys. But they have rebounded nicely. They have won their last 2 games since the last time we saw them. If I remember correctly. Let me double check. Yeah, they've only played 2 games since their bye week, since the Dallas game, because they had a bye week and then the Cincinnati game and at Arizona, and this is their 3rd game overall. So, and the good news for them is that they're going to be getting some key pieces back on their team, not just with kicker Brandon McManus returning to the lineup tonight, but also Christian Watson is playing for the first time since the Week 18 finale. Of course, he tore his ACL in that game, and he's been waiting to get back on the field, but supposedly he's ready to go tonight. But in terms of the inactive players I have here, Scotty Miller for the Steelers is out. That'll be a loss overall, but hey, Calvin Austin is back in the lineup. That's good to know for the Steelers. Of course, Jalen Warren's going to be in the lineup too. And it's National Tight Ends Day, and we know how Aaron Rodgers loves to use his tight ends last week against Cincinnati. So if that continues today, the Steelers should have probably the most exciting NFL National Tight Ends Day since the thing got started, personally. But as I said, Scotty Miller is out for this game. So is Andrews Pete, the offensive lineman, Logan Lee, the defensive lineman, and DeMarvin Leal of the outside linebacker. Those are the only 4 players the Steelers have as inactive players tonight. No problems with TJ Watt. He is good to go, even though he showed up on the injury list last Friday, I should say. Excuse me. But here it is. As for the Green Bay Packers, inactive tonight, Dontavian Wicks, one of their young wide receivers, kicker Lucas Havrishnik. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but he's out for this game, of course, with Brandon McManus coming back in. A couple of own linemen, Jacob Monk, Donovan Jennings, Lucas Van Ness, defensive lineman, is out for this game, so we should expect to see a lot of Micah Parsons in tonight's game. And considering how well he did last week against Arizona with 3 sacks, his best game ever, Steelers have to be very careful tonight on the O-line. So a lot at stake for both teams. It's a mixed bag. Most people are going with the Steelers. Some people are picking the Packers. I've seen it the other way around. Most are going with the Packers, the Steelers. It's definitely a game that can come down to one or two. It can go down one way or the other. I'm going with the home field advantage in this one. I'm saying the Steelers will win this one. I think it'll be a very close game overall. Should be an exciting game overall, and very high scoring if the last couple of weeks have been an indication for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, we still got a little bit of time before kickoff. Actually, about an hour and a half to go. I'm recording this before we get to the festivities that is on Sunday Night Football. So, next time you see me, we'll be starting this puppy up. So, see you in a little bit. Oh, and just as we're about to get started, we have some breaking news in the world of college football. The last time we met here on the show, it was the day after James Franklin got fired. Well, guess what just happened now? LSU has just informed Brian Kelly that they are going to dismiss him early. The schools expect to inform the team on his development tonight. Talks about the terms of his departure are expected to continue. This is from Pete Thamel on ESPN. And, so Brian Kelly is going to be out at LSU after that loss to Texas A&M yesterday. I mean, just wow. Like, that's something that's very interesting that they're dropping it just now. 15 minutes ago, as this is at the time I'm recording this at 8:20 at night. So he's owed $54 million in buyout money too. I mean, that's That's pretty crazy, man. But anyway, that's happening just as we're about to go on the air here. And we are about ready for kickoff here. 52 degrees on this lovely evening in downtown Pittsburgh, the last Sunday of October. As I mentioned before, the Sunday before Halloween, with a matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers against his former team, Jordan Love and the Packers. As they're showing him on screen right now as we're about to get this underway. As per usual on here, we'll keep the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers scoring drives on here. If we have any moments during the game where there's a lull in the action, if it's a 3-and out or something like that, or just a punt and nothing interesting happens, we'll cut it out of here. So hopefully we'll have the same length of a show that we had the last time around, because when I did that, we got the Detroit-Kansas City game crunched down into one video instead of be separating into two different ones. But we will wait to see what happens as we get another look at Aaron Rodgers as he's leaning up again with Jordan Love. As we are about ready to get this one underway. Green Bay is going to get the ball to start tonight. Our referee is Sean Hockley. That's who we'll be hearing throughout the course of the evening as we see Mike Tomlin. 19th season as the head coach of the Steelers, the longest tenured head coach with one team. Matt LaFleur, 7 seasons as the Packers head coach. Postseason appearances in 5 of the last 6 seasons. And we've got the old school Steelers uniforms. Last time they had these on was back in 1994 against the Colts. I'll bet they look a lot better than they did back then. As we're off and running here. This is number 83. I think that's who's 83 on the Packers? That's Williams. As we're going to hear from Sean Hockley right now because there's a flag down. Probably a legal block in the back by the offense. Or holding. Either way, it's going to send them back. Chris Brooks, that's the rookie. Well, that's the one they called the penalty on. As we see Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. Savion Williams was the one who ran the ball out. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson's back in the lineup for the first time this season. Matthew Golden, Tucker Kraft, Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks, Elton Jenkins, Jordan Morgan, Zach Tom. Zach Tom being in the lineup is big for them. That's your offensive line, offensive drive for the start of this one. Josh Jacobs getting up right where Jordan Love is. 1st and 10 from the 28. It's at 16, excuse me. 20. And Jacobs is only going to get about a couple there. They'll give him a 4-yard run on that one. 2nd down coming up. As we look at Jordan Love's numbers so far. Through week 7, 240 passing yards per game, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 69% completion percentage, which is a career high. So far having a really good season for Green Bay. How much of an impact will Christian Watson have this evening will be a big question. 2nd and 6. Jacobs to throw, and he's going to get it to Christian Watson. Close to a 1st down, his first catch of the year. Good to see him back in the lineup after he tore that ACL in the finale last year, regular season finale. 3rd and 1 coming up. It says missed 19 games due to injury in his career. He was activated off the PUP list yesterday. 49% on 3rd downs. This is the 3rd and 1. Should be manageable. Have to get to the 30 for the 1st down. Love to throw, fires, and incomplete. Intended for Romeo Doubs, who had a couple of touchdowns in the game against Dallas last time we met them. So it's going to be 4th and 1, 3 and out for the Green Bay Packers to start this game off. And this is the opening drive, so we'll keep that in there. Kind of surprised they threw on that one, honestly. I feel like they could have gotten that one easily. So we got Whelan, I think it is. Whelan's going to punt it away. Whelan punts it away. This is to Keyshawn Williams, who will take it out past the 20, and that's where they're going to stop him at. That's the rookie Keyshawn Williams, and it's Bo Melton who took him down. As we see Aaron Rodgers in the Pittsburgh Steelers not black and gold, it's gold tonight. They start at the 20-yard line. They do actually look a lot better than they did back in the days of the Colts. When they played the Colts in that same weather in 1994. Same jerseys in 94, I should say. So Jaylen Warren in the backfield is right now. From the 20-yard line. And they'll give it to Warren. Breaks away from one tackle, gets a couple of yards, gets about 3 before he's taken down by Xavier McKinney. And as we have our offense here, Aaron Rodgers, Jaylen Warren, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin back in the lineup tonight. That's big. Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Broderick Jones, Isaac Seumalo, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, Troy Furtado. Big help on the offensive line tonight with Zach Frazier back in the lineup. 2nd and 7. Play clock down to 5. Fake it. Rodgers to throw. Fires. Completes it. That is to, I believe, DK Metcalf, who will get about 4 yards on that one. So it'll be about 3rd and 3 coming up. Isaiah McDuffie was the one that took him down. Make it a 3rd and 3. And there's Spencer Anderson, the one they always say report is eligible. They also got Darnell Washington on an O-line too to help block up in case they need to run a play. Oh, it's actually Anderson was the one I think caught it. Interesting. 3rd and 3. Empty backfield for Rodgers. Play clock down to 3. Got it off. Rodgers scrambling. Fires deep down the field. Wide open. Roman Wilson with a big play. 45 yards down the field. They're finally getting Roman Wilson going, the second-year man out of Michigan for the 2nd round. They played very sparsely last year, but man, big play right there. That's what they've been waiting for when they got him. What a great play that was. Whew. 45 yards, and they're already in Green Bay territory at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, with 11:13 to go in the first. Flips it back. This is Warren, I think. And about a 5-yard pickup there. Again, tackled by Isaiah McDuffie. So good to see Roman Wilson getting more playing time here, man. I mean, I'll tell you about it after these stats here. Aaron Rodgers, 69% completion percentage, same as Jordan Love, 212 passing yards per game, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But yeah, Roman Wilson, of course, 2nd-round pick last year. They were expecting a lot of big things for him, but kept getting injured. But I'm glad to see that he's getting some big play this year. 2nd and 5. Calvin Austin on the move. Rodgers again to throw, and it looks like they got it to Metcalf. But a flag is down. And it's going to be pass interference on the offense, it looks like. Yep. That's on DK Metcalf, so negates the no gain play on that, so because he didn't gain any yardage there, but excuse me. You see DK Metcalf's numbers: 4 touchdowns, 406 yards, 22 receptions so far for the season, averaging 18.5 per carry. 2nd and 15 now. Have to get to the 18-yard line for the first down. Jaylen Warren in the backfield. They clock to 7. Rodgers flips it. That's Warren, and not much there. In fact, nothing. Edgerrin Cooper was the one that took him down. 3rd and 15 coming up with under 10 minutes to go in the first. Three for three thus far on Aaron Rodgers so far, 49 yards, including that 45-yard bomb to Roman Wilson. Can he get a big play here? Steelers have been very good on opening drive touchdowns. Can he keep it going, though? 3rd and 15. Rodgers to throw. Rodgers, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary takes him down. So it'll be a field goal coming up. Micah Parsons also in there on the assist, but I think Rashawn Gary got the credit for the sack. So it's going to be a 4th and 20, and they're going to bring out Chris Boswell, one would assume. Yeah, Parsons got in there too. I think it was mostly him. But it was Gary that got the credit for it. All right, Chris Boswell, best kicker in the league from 56 yards. Jesus. Ordinarily, that would be a problem for most kickers, but not for Chris Boswell because he just got it through. 3-0 to start this game, halfway through the first quarter. 8:41 to go. Pittsburgh up by 3. 3-0. Back in a moment. Stay tuned. And we welcome you back to the Sunday Night NFL Rewatch. Packers didn't do anything on their first drive of the game. The Steelers got it down to the field goal range. 3-0 is the score right now in this matchup here. Aaron Rodgers with a nice throw down the field to Roman Wilson for 45 yards. Fortunately, did not lead to a touchdown as we get right back into the thick of the action. Savion Williams returning it. Gets past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, and a good run right there to the 34-yard line. As we're at 8:33 to go in the first. Run of 30 yards. Let's take a look at the defense for the Steelers. As, of course, you got T.J. Watt, you got your Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, Derek Harmon, the rookie out of Oregon, Alex Highsmith, Patrick Queen, Cole Holcomb, Joey Porter Jr., Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Elliott, Darius Slay. Defense needs to come up big this time around after what happened last week against the Bengals. 1st and 10. Flip back to Jacobs. And Jacobs gets to about the 36-yard line. Pickup of about 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up. Reminder, this is the first of 4 consecutive Sunday Night NFL rewatches coming up. Next week we'll have the Chiefs and Bills in the mid-afternoon game. We won't cover the Sunday Night Football game because it's not an interesting one. Then November the 9th, we got the Steelers and Chargers. And November the 16th, Lions at the Eagles. So stay tuned for those games coming up over the next couple of weeks. 2nd and 7 with 8 minutes to go in the first. We have, I think that's Lucas. I don't know who that is in the backfield that joined Jacobs. But Love throws. Wide open catch. Romeo Doubs breaks away. And down he goes into Pittsburgh territory all the way to the 40-yard line. Tackled by Cole Holcomb. A big play there. 24 yards for Romeo Doubs. And Doubs just finds the easy lane right there to get the first down and gets himself all the way into Steeler territory. That's the stuff they've got to avoid, the Steelers, because the Bengals ran that all over them last week. At the 40-yard line, give it to Jacobs again. And Jacobs breaks away for about a 5-yard pickup. Keanu Benton with the tackle. No DeMarvin Leal, as we mentioned before. 7 minutes to go in the first. 2nd down and 5 coming up. That's Micah Parsons on the sideline right now. Beautiful look at Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium tonight. Got the mini stadium that they're building. I think they built that for the draft down at the bottom there if you're watching along on NBC. 2nd and 5 coming up. Jacobs in the backfield with Love. Love to throw. Love fires, and that's complete. That's a first down, and that is to Doubs again. Romeo Doubs with another catch, his 2nd of the night. First down at the 29-yard line, and the Packers are on the move. So 6:10 to go in the first quarter, and the Packers, like I said, on the move right now. Love 3 of 4 right now for 35 yards. Jacobs with 12 rushing yards so far. And Romeo Doubs 30 receiving yards with those 2 receptions. First and 10 from the 29. Love. This is 218, and it's a first down. That is Malik Heath with a catch right there for 13 yards and into the red zone and into Pittsburgh territory. We're already in Pittsburgh territory, but they're now at the 16-yard line. Darius Slay just couldn't get past him. And like I said, this has been a problem with the Steelers defense all year long. So now they are at the 16-yard line. Love to throw, fires it, completes it. That's Tucker Kraft, I believe. Past the 10, past the 5, touchdown Green Bay! That's Tucker Kraft on this National Tight Ends Day. And the Packers take the lead, 5 plays, 67 yards, 3 minutes and 36 seconds. They did not waste any time at all. Going to be that kind of a game, isn't it? .505 to go in the first. Brandon McManus back on the field tonight for the first time in a couple of weeks. And has not lost a beat. So the Green Bay Packers immediately react to the Steelers' score and get a touchdown. The first one of the night. Tucker Kraft catching a pass from Jordan Love. 7-3, .505 to go. Packers take the lead. We take a break. And we welcome you back to the action here. Nothing really happened on that last Steelers drive. It was basically a 3-and-out. With a penalty to boot, an illegal shift penalty. So, as we get a lovely look at the bridges that Pittsburgh, of course. I think those are the bridges that take you to, they're between the Convention Center and PNC Park. Anyway, Green Bay starts the new drive here at their own 18-yard line. Fake it to Jacobs. Love to throw. Fires it. That's complete. That is to Emmanuel Wilson for an 8-yard pickup there. He fumbled the football, but it was out of bounds, so no harm, no foul. As we look at old images of Rodgers and Love back in Green Bay. That was an interesting thing when they drafted Jordan Love. Everyone thought that Aaron Rodgers was not going to love it, but they seem like they still have a pretty good friendship even after all these years. And, of course, I guess because Aaron Rodgers had those MVP seasons, that kind of evened itself out overall. So maybe that's what happens there. 2nd and 2. And that is Wilson again. And it looks like he may have gotten the first down. Might be a little bit short. Well, maybe he got it. First down. Yep, first down. Or could this be a virtual measure? Maybe. Perhaps not, because they haven't said anything. Aaron Rodgers waiting for his opportunity to get back out there to get this team back on track. They're down by 4. 2 minutes to go in this one. Love to throw. Gets Tucker Kraft, and he's got a first down and more. Past the 40, past the 45, 50, 45, 40, and back into Steeler territory, and a 33-yard pickup on that one. All the way to the Pittsburgh 39-yard line. First down, Green Bay. Another tight end play for on this National Tight End Day. First and 10, and we got a timeout. So Green Bay is going to take a timeout here. We'll take a little break as well. Showing off Tucker Kraft's hometown of Timberlake, South Dakota. He's one of 536 people in the town, and judging by this bar, most of them might be inside the bar, if we're quite honest with you. There is numbers so far: 375 yards, 25 receptions, 5 touchdowns this year so far. Give it to Wilson. That's Savion Williams, I beg your pardon. And Peyton Wilson is the one who brings it back down a little bit. Gains about a yard on that one. Might get 1 or 2 more plays off here before we reach the end of the first quarter. Steelers defense is not doing a good job so far. Jordan Love's already got 100 yards on this first quarter alone. Second and 9. Wilson still in the backfield. Love to throw. A flip. That's to Matthew Golden. And Matthew Golden is actually going to lose a yard on that one. Darius Slay was the one that took him down. And it's going to be a third and 10, I believe. And it's going to take us to the beginning of the next quarter. So, first quarter, Green Bay gets the lead 7-3. Pittsburgh scored first, but Green Bay is up 7-3. As we'll go to the second half, we'll see if the Steelers can find their way back. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Start of the second quarter here as what's the name of it? This place looks awesome. This world's largest bike museum and shop. They don't tell you what the name is. What the heck? Anyway, 3rd and 10 here. Can Pittsburgh's defense finally get something going here? 3rd and 10 for the offense of Green Bay. Love to throw. Love fires deep down the field, and it is incomplete. Looking for Romeo Doubs. There are no flags. And out looks like will come the field goal unit. Seriously, I want to know what that bike museum is. They didn't even sit. I can't hear it because I'm trying to lower the volume for copyright reasons, but that's a big play right there for the defense. They needed that badly. Get them contained down to at least 3 points at the latest. This will be from 57 yards. McManus got the distance, but no good. It did not get past the goalpost. Just a little bit short. And that might be the boost the Steelers need. It'll give the Steelers some really good field position to start this one. Here, let's take a look. Just a little bit short. Real close on that one. And it looks like we're just going to go straight to the next drive here. So, it makes sense. We're only 10 seconds off of the clock right now. So yeah, McManus is down the quad injury. So how do the Steelers get this offense going here? Because they got to get it going soon. Starting at their own 39-yard line. Jaylen Warren in the backfield. Rodgers to throw. Scrambles. Rodgers fires. That's complete. That's 2. DK Metcalf for a pickup of 5 yards. Quay Walker pushes him out as we're looking at now the legacy that Rodgers left behind in Green Bay. 4 MVPs. We touched on that earlier in the show. Super Bowl 45 champion and MVP, of course, against the Steelers. 475 passing touchdowns, most in team history. 2nd and 5. Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell has a little bit of a lane, and he's got the first down. Kenneth Gainwell for a pickup of 9 yards. And the former Eagle, who's been pretty good so far for the team this season on running the ball. First down tonight for the Steelers. That's actually, I believe, that might be their first one of the night, if I'm not mistaken. No, I take it back. The second one, because Roman Wilson had that 45-yard bomb from them earlier. Gainwell still in the backfield. Calvin Austin on the move at the top of the screen. That gets back into position. Fake it. Flip it to Gainwell. And not much. Might have actually lost a yard on that one. So the 2nd and 11, Kobe Wooden, the one taken down. It's been kind of an uneventful day for the most part. The most exciting game that happened was that Jets-Bengals game, which, hey, good for the Jets, man. They needed it. I mean, they've been having a bad season. Of course, the story about Nick Mangold passing away, that's a bummer, man. 41 years old. 2nd and 11, though. Gainwell going to get some positive yardage on this one for a pick of about 8 yards, tackled by Xavier McKinney. It'll be 3rd and 3. But what happened to Nick Mangold? That's a bummer, man. We'll touch more on that in the halftime report coming up here. But hey, I'm glad to see they got a win today. And of all the teams to do it, it was against the Bengals. I mean, that was fucking hilarious, man. I apologize for that, but 3rd and 3. This is why I'll never be a broadcaster with a major network like NBC. 3rd down and 3. Gainwell still in the backfield. Rodgers to throw. Rodgers just goes for a deep ball down the field, and it is incomplete. Intended for DK Metcalf, but Carrington Valentine was right there. So they are going to have to do another field goal here. He had a shot. He had a shot at it, and Rodgers was not happy when he missed it. He did have a shot at it. He just got to bring it in. And again, Rodgers is frustrated. You can see it. But Chris Boswell now to kick it. This is from 50. And another one for Chris Boswell. So the Steelers are still hanging in there. It's now a 1-point game right now, with the score 7-6, 12:18 to go in the second. Back with more after this. All right, we welcome you back as we're taking a look now at the histories between T.J. Watt and Micah Parsons. 112 sacks, second most in the NFL since 2017 for Watt. 58 sacks since 2021 for Micah Parsons. In that very same year, they were both the Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, Parsons and Watt, and they're showing the average salary by non-QBs. Parsons, $46.5 million a year. T.J. Watt, $41 million a year. So this is Bo Melton, and Melton takes it down to the 26-yard line. And that's where Jordan Love and company will start on this next drive. T.J. Watt's numbers so far: 4 sacks, 1 fumble, 1 interception, second on the team. We want to see more from T.J. Watt, of course. 12-12 to go in the second quarter. First down and 10. Love to throw, going deep down the field. Going to try to get somebody there. No. And there are no flags. That pass intended for Romeo Doubs, incomplete. And we've got an injury on the play. That is Equali. Daniel Equali, I think. Let's see. That's one that they usually would call it on, but I'm kind of glad they did it for the Steelers' sake. Yeah, Daniel Equali. As we get a look outside of Acrisure Stadium, beautiful night. See the stadium and everything, the mini stadium, Rivers Casino. Of course, will be the site of the 2026 NFL Draft, and I'm planning to be down there no matter what. I'm going to find a way to get down there. Even if I have to start walking down there now, I'll be down there for some of the draft. They've taken a break, and we'll take a break as well. We'll be back in a little bit. All right, they're coming out of commercial break. NBA on NBC, baby. That was a spectacular return last Tuesday. I mean, the opening and everything. The NBA is back on NBC. I love it. Should have been a great week for the NBA, but of course, Thursday was a completely different story. Anyway, 2nd and 10, I believe. And it looks like it's a run for Jacobs. He might get a yard on that one. Peyton Wilson and Deshaun Elliott on the holdover, on the stop on there. Yeah, the NBA opening week was actually not that bad. I mean, as we get another nice shot of Acrisure Stadium, and I'm actually kind of surprised there's no traffic around the stadium. I mean, I guess during the game, does the traffic just stop altogether? Yeah, NBC was very good with it. ESPN was really good. Even Amazon Prime, I was kind of surprised by how good they really were. But 3rd and 9 coming up here. Can the Steelers defense stop them here? Play clock to 4. Love to throw. Love. Lets it go. Incomplete. Flags are down, though. First down, Green Bay. They're going to get Highsmith. Yeah. Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty. Oh, wow. Illegal use of hands. That's on Zach Tom. Wow. I'm honestly kind of surprised they called that. Because in that instant replay they showed, it did not look like it. Let's see. Oh, right there, yeah. On what? Yep. So, hey, Steelers get a stop on 4th down. Got a lucky break on that one, I will say that, as Keyshawn Williams is waiting for the punt from who was it? Whelan. I keep thinking it's Griffin Whelan, but I don't know if that's his name. Either Griffin or Brooks Whelan, because I don't think it's Brooks, because Brooks is somebody from Saturday Night Live, right? One of the cast members on SNL. I think it's Griff Whelan. Williams going to try to take it, maybe. Past the 25, past the 30, 35. Could be a good start again for the Steelers. 36-yard line pushed out at the Steelers 36. So good start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Daniel Whelan is who it is, not Brooks Whelan or Griffin Whelan. Daniel Whelan. Okay. Taking a 30-second break. We'll be back in just a couple of seconds. And just like that, we're back after Amazon's AWS commercial. So Pittsburgh starting at the Pittsburgh's own 36-yard line. Got down the field for a field goal, but we want more than that. We want big plays here. Rodgers is going to make it happen with Ben Skoranek, and Ben Skoranek with a first down. Pick up of 12 yards on that one. That's what we're talking about. Down to the 48-yard line. 3rd first down in the game for the Steelers. As the numbers, Aaron Rodgers is now up to 71 yards on that one. Is with that one, 6 of 8. Javon Boyer's the one that took him down. So from the 48-yard line, it's weird on ESPN at 71, but on NBC at 72. Flip back to Jaylen Warren. And not much there, but he does get at least 2 yards. Devontae Wyatt's the one that took him down. So 2nd and 8 coming up at midfield as we get a look at Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator. Let's give him credit. I mean, he and the offense are doing a much better job than the defense is. No question about it. We're coming up on 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the Steelers will get the ball to start the second half, so I don't know why I should say that now, because we still got 10 minutes to go here. 2nd and 8. Rodgers to throw. Rodgers decks away, scrambles, and just throws it away. Incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd and 8. Stopping the clock at 9:42 on the clock. As Caleb Wooden was right there. Is it Wooden or Wooden? Someone let me know in the comments below. 3rd and 8. Need a big play here. We haven't had a big play since the Roman Wilson catch. And there are the numbers for Rodgers. First 4 games, 2.5 seconds fastest in the NFL. And then last 2 games, 2.8 seconds, tied for 11th. 3rd and 8. Empty backfield for Rodgers, so he's going to throw this one. Rodgers gets away. Rodgers fires, and that is nearly intercepted, but there's a flag down. So could that be pass interference? Yep. Well, no, it's not. It's holding. It's going to be holding on, I believe, Keyshawn Nixon. So it's going to be a first down for the Steelers regardless. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Calvin Austin had a shot to maybe run it into the end zone if he doesn't do that. Yeah. Chris Collinsworth is right on that one. That was almost a touchdown for Calvin Austin. So it's a new set of downs for the Steelers. 9:36 to go into Green Bay territory at the 46. They'll give it to Warren, and Warren with a nice run up the field. Warren going to get close to the first down to pick up a 9 yards on that one. 20 yards on the night so far for him. 2nd and 1 coming up from the 36. With 9:22 to go in the second. Big shoes to fill for Jaylen Warren. Replacing, of course, Najee Harris, who I still don't think the Steelers should have gotten rid of. But unfortunately, I'm not running the organization. Because let me tell you, I wouldn't have gotten rid of him just because he was a first-round running back. 2nd and 1 coming up with 9 minutes to go. Warren still in the backfield. Spencer Anderson on the move. Flip back to Warren, and Warren will get a first down and more inside the 30. 6-yard run up there. Keyshawn Nixon and McKinney take him down. So it'll be a first and 10 at the 30-yard line as we look at some of Jaylen Warren getting ready to get with the ball and all that on the sands. In the water, too. Jesus, he's carrying that soccer goal with a rope and all that. That's pretty impressive stuff. I'll give him that. These athletes have crazy ways of practicing these moves, man. From the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Again to Warren, and not much on that one. Kingsley Enagbare was the one that took him down. A loss of 5 on that one. Takes it back to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 15 coming up. Jaylen Warren still has surpassed Kenneth Gainwell. 21 yards so far with 7 carries, but they want more than that. We need to get some runs down the field here. Rodgers to throw. Flips it back to Gainwell. Gainwell gets about 1 or 2 yards. Maybe 2. Yeah, it looks like they'll give him a yard. 3rd and 14 coming up. 7:17 to go, halfway through the second quarter. Down by 1, but they are in field goal range for the possibility to take the lead here, but it would be great to get a first down somehow. Touchdown will be also great, too. Only 1 third down conversion thus far, 1 of 4. 3rd and 14. Play clock down to 3. They got to hurry. They just get it off. Rodgers fires it. That's complete. That is to number 81. That's Jonnu Smith, and he's not going to get the first down. He does get a 9-yard pickup there. So it should be a much more So it should be a good field goal range for Chris Boswell to take the lead. As Love's getting ready to come back out. And Micah Parsons, he had a shot. He had a shot to get him. And we got a flag down. Kick makes it through, but looks like it's going to be a false start on the Steelers. That's on Cam Hayward. So it's going to be now a 4th and 15. Cam Hayward with a little chirpy hand expression there. You can't have those penalties, man, especially in a game like this. 48 yards away. Wait, did they decline the penalty? Maybe they did. But no problems whatsoever here as the Steelers now take the first lead of the night, 9-7 with under 6 minutes to go, and one of the great entryways into the city of Pittsburgh, the Fort Pitt Bridge, the Fort Pitt Tunnel. Good luck trying to get to Monroeville if you're coming in through that way. But 9-7 Steelers with the lead back, but how long will they have it for? We'll find out in a moment. A reminder coming up next on the Reviewing Network Live, the Sunday Night NFL Rewatch Halftime Report. We'll take a look at the scores and highlights from earlier today. Like I said, only one game that had a lot of significant action to it, and that was the Jets and Bengals game. And we'll take a look at the weekend box office. A couple of new releases in the top 5. We'll see how everything did. That's all going to be coming up next on the Halftime Report as we welcome you back for the final 4 minutes of this game as we're off and running here. And it looks like a run for Jaylen Warren, who's got a nice run and a pickup of about 10 or so. Should have the first down, but it looks like they're going to mark him short a little bit there with under 4 minutes to go. Jaylen Warren finally getting going here now. Spencer Anderson and Darnell Washington doing a good job of opening the hole for Warren there, and it looks like it will be a 2nd and 1 coming up. Second and inches, it looks like, so they were close. Flip it back to Warren, and Warren should have the first down this time, and he does. He gets more than that. Big play there. 17-yard run to the 42-yard line of Pittsburgh. First down. Tackled by Javon Bullard, but that is a big first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And once again, it's Spencer Anderson and Darnell Washington opening the hole up. This time not as good, not as sturdy, but it led to a much bigger result. 17-yard run. It takes Jaylen Warren now up to 47 rushing yards on the game so far. 1st and 10. Looks like Kenneth Gainwell's now in the backfield. Flip up there. That's to Calvin Austin, his first catch of the night. And Calvin Austin close to a first down. Pickup of 7 on that one. Taken out by Keyshawn Nixon with 2:30 to go. The clock continues to run, which means we'll probably get one more play off here before the 2-minute warning. It'll be a 2nd and 3. Will they do it, though, or will they just take it down to the 2-minute warning? Takes Aaron Rodgers up to 90 yards so far. Might get one more play here. And they will do it with Kenneth Gainwell, and Gainwell will have the first down and more. Down into Green Bay territory, a pickup of 14 yards, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. To the 37 of Green Bay. Pittsburgh with a 9-7 lead, trying to extend it and maybe get a double-up play. Back with more in just a second. 2-minute warning as we're getting ready for obviously the final 2 minutes of this first half. Steelers up 9-7. It's a close game, but they are on the move and in Green Bay territory right now. Kenneth Gainwell now with the ball. And Gainwell gets maybe a couple of yards. Looks like they're going to give him just one. So it'll be a 1-yard gain tackled by Quay Walker. They are in Boswell's field goal range, so. And Broderick Jones trying to open up a lane for Gainwell, but no such luck. 2nd and 9 as the clock continues to run. Austin incomplete. So now it's 3rd down and 9. And that will stop the clock. Green Bay still has 2 timeouts, so. And out comes Micah Parsons as we see Aaron Rodgers has completions to 9 different players tonight. Not a lot of tight ends, surprisingly. I don't think he got to Freiermuth. I think he did, but it was on a penalty. No, he did. He did get a 5-yard completion. 3rd down and 9. Now it's an empty backfield. Rodgers going to throw. Gets it off. Rodgers just fires it down the field and a flag down. Pass interference. Tried to go to Calvin Austin, but first down Pittsburgh with the penalty going to be on Keyshawn Nixon possibly. At 1:22 to go. Yep, Keyshawn Nixon. So that's a 21-yard penalty, and it'll take him up to the 15-yard line. There's the interference call, and that's no question interference. And Aaron Rodgers caught that thing from the center with one hand. That's pretty impressive. Green Bay with 3 penalties, 36 yards. Pittsburgh with 3 penalties, 20 yards so far. In the red zone now for Pittsburgh. Can they get a touchdown out of this? Give it to Warren. Jalen Warren with a pickup of about 3 maybe. And the clock continues to run with 1:13 to go. Steelers' red zone touchdown percentage vastly improved from last year. 48% last year, 29th in the NFL, 72% so far, the 4th in the NFL. So yeah, I may have questioned these moves in the offseason, but so far they're paying dividends. Under a minute to go now, 2nd and 7. Can they get a touchdown out of this? Darnell Washington on the move, fakes it, Rodgers fires it. That's complete to DK Metcalf, first down. All the way to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal Steelers as the clock stops with 37 seconds to go. And DK Metcalf with his 2nd catch of the night. They are picking on Keyshawn Nixon so far tonight. Yeah, Metcalf had a possibility of maybe reaching the pylon, maybe, because remember, pylons all around the world. So 1st and goal, 8 plays, 82 yards, 3:29 off the clock. Jalen Warren in the backfield. Rodgers flips it, touchdown Pittsburgh! DK Metcalf! The terrible towers are waving at Pittsburgh. 9 plays, 84 yards, 3 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock. And the Steelers with a 15-7 lead, possibly 16-7 pending the extra point. And no doubt about that one. Big play there. With 34 seconds to go. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers, starting off with a 7-3 deficit against Green Bay, they have scored 13 unanswered since then. 16-7, 34 seconds to go. They're going to take a quick break, and we will as well. Stay tuned. They're talking about next Sunday night on NBC. It's going to be Seattle against Washington. We're not going to cover that game, of course, but we are going to cover the game before that in the mid-afternoon window, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. The 9th time that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen will meet up here as the Green Bay Packers. So that's going to be a touchback, it looks like. Daniel Aquali for the Steelers taken out of the game with an ankle injury, so he's not going to return. How about DK Metcalf, man? I mean, there's a reason they paid $150 million after they traded for him. And there he is right there. Aaron Rodgers with his 15th touchdown of the year so far. Green Bay trying to get some points off here in the final 34 seconds. Like I said, Pittsburgh is going to get the ball to start the second half, so anything they can get here would be incredible. So I got 2 timeouts. Love flips it to Jacobs, has a little bit of a lane, and he will get out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Pickup of 8 yards on the play there, and they do keep the timeouts going because he went out of bounds. So 27 seconds stopped on the clock. The numbers so far, Jordan Love with 116 passing yards so far, the 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 102 yards, the 1 touchdown. Jaylen Warren out-rushing Josh Jacobs, 50-16. 2nd and 2. Still got a long way to go to get into Brandon McManus' range. Long way to go. Play clock down to 4. Down to 3. Down to 2. They will snap it. Love fires deep down the field. And a catch made there by Christian Watson. His 2nd catch of the game. 19 yards on that one. And they will take one of their timeouts with 16 seconds to go. That's a good catch. He hung on to that one. They took a couple seconds off the clock. 16 seconds. Oh, there we go. Back to 18. So it started at 19. Then it went to 16. Now it's 18. As I mentioned, next week we will not be covering the Seahawks and Commanders. We'll be covering the Chiefs and the Bills. The 9th time those two have met, whether it's regular season or postseason. Josh Allen has got the best of Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. That's fine and all, but he can't do it in the postseason. And that's the biggest problem. That's why they've never made it to the Super Bowl. And they've been coming up. They came off of a 2-game losing streak today with that big win against Carolina. So they're going to need a lot of help they can get next week. 1st and 10, Love. Love going to throw back to Jacobs. Jacobs gets away from 1 tackle, but we have a flag down. Peyton Wilson with a tackle, but let's find out what this flag is about. Oop. Careful with the refs there, bud. Well, that should get him in the field goal range. That's on TJ Watt. That's a big 15-yard penalty. So it'll take him right to the 36-yard line of Pittsburgh. So they should be right in McManus' field goal range. 12 seconds to go, though. So 12 seconds to go. We just mentioned McManus was short of 56 yards. This would be right where he would be at if they don't get any more yardage. Sack would be really good right now for the Steelers. Love flips it. That's complete. That's to... What is it? Who is that? That's Malik Heath. Gets 9 yards on that one, and they will take... They're going to take it down to the 2 seconds, and they will take the timeouts, and then they will go ahead and kick for McManus. Did they take the timeout, or Yeah, I was going to say that's their final timeout because it wasn't showing up on the TV. So this should be a much more manageable field goal for McManus, one would think. Coming back from the quad injury. Missed one from 57. So this one's going to be from 44 yards. A long 44 yards. Good snap, good hold, and he's going to miss it again. Wide to the left. And that is how the half is going to come to an end. 2 missed field goals for Brandon McManus, and the Steelers with a 16-7 lead. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Well, technically not a commercial break, but we've got the Reviewing Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch halftime report coming up in just a little bit. I will see you in 12 minutes for the second half. So stay tuned. And welcome to the Reviewing Network Live Sunday Night NFL Rewatch halftime report. The Steelers are up 16-7 against the Green Bay Packers. Packers scored the first touchdown, but all Steelers since then. Touchdown for Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft. Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf with a touchdown, and 3 field goals made by Chris Boswell. That make up the 16-7 score for the Steelers right now. McManus missing 2 critical field goals, and including that one at the end of the half. So Let's take you around the league and show you talk about some highlights from earlier today. The Philadelphia Eagles got their revenge on the New York Giants. This time it was not even close. 38-20, with the Eagles moving up to 6-2. Giants are 2-6. Jackson Dart, 14-24 for 193 yards and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley had a big day against his former team. 14 carries, 150 yards and 1 touchdown. Devontae Smith, 6 receptions, 84 yards. Cam Scattergood got an ankle injury, a bad-looking ankle injury, so we'll see how long he's out for the Giants. But not looking good for him going forward, as they're now 2-6 for the New York Giants. The Texans got some life back in them. They actually looked like a better football team than they've had all season long. C.J. Stroud had a big day today, 30 of 39 yards, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns. Woody Marks, 11 carries, 62 yards. Xavier Hutchinson with a touchdown carry from C.J. Stroud. They controlled that game. 40 minutes of possession for the Texans offense led to the 26-15 win over the 49ers. Texans moved to 3-4. The 49ers dropped to 5-3. In New Orleans, it was all Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had a big day today, 23-3, the final score. Tampa Bay moves to 6-2. Baker Mayfield, 15-24 for 152 yards. Sean Tucker, 12 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Rashid Shaheed led the charge for the New Orleans Saints, 9 receptions, 75 yards. Saints are 1-7. They put Tyler Shook in the second half, and evidently it didn't do jack shit for them pretty much. This was probably the most surprising score of the day, besides the close game in Cincinnati. We'll get to that later on. The Falcons losing a heartbreaker losing a bad one to the Dolphins. The Dolphins looked terrible all season long. Suddenly they've got the spark back in them. I mean, they mopped the floor with the Falcons. 34-10 was the final score. Tua Tagovailoa, 20 of 26, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns. The craziest thing about that game is that when he woke up today, he couldn't see anything. He had a visor on during the game, and apparently, if you want Miami to have good offense, make sure he wears that fucking visor all the time. I mean, look what he did today. 20 of 26, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns. Devin Achane, 18 carries, 67 yards. Jalen Waddle, 5 receptions, close to 100 yards, 99, 1 touchdown. And Kirk Cousins was in for Michael Penix Jr., and we saw how that turned out. Not very well. 34-10, the final score in that one. We'll get to the Jets Titans in a little bit. That's the next one. The Patriots are up again, winning this one, 32-13. 6-2 now for the Patriots. The Browns 2-6. The highlight for the Browns, Myles Garrett with a record-breaking day, 5 sacks on Drake May. But it didn't deter Drake May's overall performance. 18 of 24, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns. Travion Henderson, 10 carries, 75 yards. Matt Collins, 7 receptions, 89 yards. The Bills get off that 2-game losing skid and win a game today, a really big one over the Carolina Panthers. They've been red hot coming into that game, but no Bryce Young, and it really showed on there. The team overall was not very good for Carolina, but it was really good for Buffalo. 40-9, the final score in Carolina. Buffalo moves to 5-2. Carolina drops to 4-4. Andy Dalton, 16-24, 175 yards, 1 touchdown. James Cook, 19 carries, 26 yards, 2 touchdowns. To Torian McMillan, 7 receptions, 99 yards. The Baltimore Ravens get a win. They end their 4-game losing streak even without Lamar Jackson there. They win at 30-16. Tyler Huntley led the charge, and it was really all they needed. I mean, Caleb Williams had a good day, 25-38, 185 yards, plus 2 receptions. Derrick Henry with 21 carries, 71 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Rome Odunze, 70 receptions, 114 yards on the day. The Broncos once again prove that they're the Dallas Cowboys' kryptonite, 44-24. The Broncos are 6-2. Cowboys are 3-4-1. Bo Nix, 4 touchdowns on the day, 19 of 29 for 247 yards. J.K. Dobbins over 100 yards on the day, 15 carries, 111 yards. Troy Franklin, 6 receptions, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Colts continue their dominance over everybody. They are 7-1 now, and they made it look easy against the Tennessee Titans, who are 1-7, 38-14. Daniel Jones adds 3 more touchdowns to his season, 21-29 for 272, 12 carries, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns from him. Michael Pittman Jr., 8 receptions, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. The closest game all day long was the game that we did not expect it to be that way. The Jets and the Bengals. The Bengals were up much of the game. They had a 38-24 lead over New York. It seemed like New York wasn't going to do anything, but then that fourth quarter, man, the final 8 minutes, just something happened. Maybe it was the spirit of Nick Mangold. Who knows? But, I mean, the Jets came away with a big win today, 39-38. They got their first win of the season. Justin Fields, his best overall day since the Steelers game at the start of the year. 21 of 32, 244 yards, 1 touchdown. Breece Hall, 18 carries, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 12 receptions, 91 yards. Interesting day across the league overall. We'll take a little break, and when we come back, we'll take a quick look at the weekend box office. And looking at the weekend box office overall, Tron Ares dropped another 3 spots from 2 to 5 this week, $4.9 million, 56% drop off, $63.3 million after 3 weeks. If you take the worldwide totals, $123 million worldwide. This thing cost over $200 million. Flop for Disney, no doubt about it. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, did, I guess, okay business for its debut, one of the new releases in the top 5. $9.1 million. Let's take a look at the budget. $55 million. Yeah, that's not as good of a start as I thought it would be. $9.1 million domestically. Worldwide, $16.1 million. This one's going to mostly depend on awards buzz. Can the awards buzz carry it over? But I don't think it's going to, because the reception so far has been mostly mixed on that one. But we'll see. But that's not the start that Disney probably was hoping for with that particular film. So Springsteen was one of 3 films in the top 5 this weekend. Number 3 was Regretting You, the latest film that's trying to copy the success of It Ends With Us, because this is also based off of a book by Colleen Hoover. It stars McKenna Grace, Allison Williams, Dave Franco, and Mason Thames. Mason Thames having a really good year with How to Train Your Dragon, Black Phone 2, which we'll get to that in a second. And now this movie, $12.5 million this weekend. $30 million is the budget for this. The reviews for this have not been great, but I mean, it's not the worst numbers for this particular film, but they were probably expecting a lot more with that. But $12.8 million, close to $13 million, they'll take it. Number 1 movie last week, The Black Phone 2, $13 million this weekend, only dropping 52% from last weekend. $49 million is in the 2 weeks for that film. If you count the worldwide numbers for Black Phone, it's already up to $80 million worldwide. This was not a high budgeted movie. I think it was around $30 to $50 million. So they'll be good. They're okay. They're good to go on that front there. Let me just see how it's doing after the second weekend of the original film. The second weekend of the original film, after 2 weeks, that film was up to $47.4 million. So it's actually a little bit ahead of the original Black Phone. So they're doing good business on that one. And then the number 1 movie, Crunchyroll at it again with Chainsaw Man the movie, Res Arc, $17.3 million. Hey, another movie where I did not know too much about who was putting this movie out there, but worldwide it's already over $108 million. So again, I don't know too much about Chainsaw Man, so take that for what you will. But that's the weekend box office overall. Shelby Oaks, the Chris Stuckman movie, I'll mention this real quickly, $2.3 million. For a movie that had a small budget of around about $3 million, not bad overall. But that's the weekend box office overall. We'll take a look at it again next weekend during the halftime shows. We're about ready to kick off the second half of the Packers and Steelers. Steelers are going to get the ball back. Steelers up 16-7. We'll see you in just a little bit.